Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the...
Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this top 10 countdown we're going to be looking at my top 10 favourite Kingdom figures. So these are just the standard releases, so these are the ones that you could find pretty much at all retail, so there's nothing special, there's no generation selects, no Hasbro Pulse exclusives, nothing like that at all, just again regular retail. So wave 1, 2, 3 and I think there's 4 now, so that leads me to the next sort of disclaimer is obviously this is just a bit of fun for me, it's only my opinion, and secondly I'm sure that if I would have been able or been lucky enough to get Blaster or even Slammer, that maybe the numbers or the order rather might have been slightly different, but in the UK at the moment, just after Christmas, we still haven't got them over here at all. So this should be a little bit more interesting. I've hidden most of them behind the arc there, which is pretty good, so obviously I think he's going to be in it, but pretty much what I do with the other one, I want to give two figures a special mention. The first one is Shadow Panther. He didn't make it into the top 10, and just purely because I preferred the others. As I say, I do think this is a good figure. I think the biggest thing that Kingdom has taught me in honesty is that the Beast Wars figures are very, very good. I never had anything against the Beast Wars figures. I just completely missed that whole era out. As I say, I was in my late teens when they originally came out, and I just missed it. I just totally missed it. And then these figures, I mean, a lot of the figures from Kingdom I'm actually still buying back, like the old Cheetor and that. I never got the first Kingdom release of it. I've just recently brought that back. So yeah, he definitely gets a special mention because I love his transformation process. And yeah, the Beast figures, the Predacons, the Maximals, all the names, which I'm still learning, have totally won me over. So he didn't make it into my top 10, but he is a very, very good figure. The other one that didn't make it into the top 10, there's only two, is this little guy, because this was the year, again, maybe not with Hot Rod, again, I haven't seen him in hand yet, I've only seen pictures. I was going to say that this is perhaps the year that Hasbro and Takara stepped up their Legends scale, or core class as they're now calling it, game. Some of the figures are fantastic. I can't talk about Hot Rod because I've not seen him, I've only seen pictures, but this guy I was very, very impressed with. I really, really liked him. I like the fact that some of the transformation processes with the core class figures are quite complex. You know, as I say, you've got so much more articulation, you've got so much more detail, and if there wasn't, again, about another 4 or 5 different Optimus Primes for the whole War for Cybertron trilogy, he probably would have got in. But he deserves a special mention because he's brilliant. He's brilliant. He's core class. He's cheap, pocket money size bots, you know, stocking fillers, etc. He's brilliant. So he just missed out. So on to number 10, and here we go. It's a core class figure. It is Megatron. And again, brilliant. I brought all these core class. So again, people watching my channel, I did the core class videos on these guys only a couple of months ago, because again, I just completely missed them. Didn't really pay them much attention, to be fair, until one figure that I'm going to be talking about in a second, which is giving away a clue, obviously, came out, and that completely, again, changed my perspective on these, because I've got loads of Legends figures, like from all the Thrilling 30 and all that, and I was just, not another figure, but this guy, brilliant. I love the homage to G1, of course, with his gun being a G1 Megatron. Absolutely fantastic. Detail, everything, brilliant. Just, again, core class, pocket money figures, nice, very, very good. Display incredibly well, especially with these guys. So, in fact, I'm going to put these here now with them because, I mean, look at that. They scale brilliant, even though obviously he's supposed to be way, way much bigger. So that was number 10. And then number 9 was Starscream as well. And as he tries to grab him a couple of times. So here is Starscream. And again, this guy, transformation process, I mean, wow. You know, literally splitting him in half for a core class figure. I was blown away by that. Really, really liked it. I'm not surprised at all, obviously, that we are going to be getting, is it Core Thundercracker or Skywarp? I've seen it in Legacy, one of the two anyway. So, of course, we're going to get a nice, which I'm not fussed about anyway, straight up redeco of this guy. He looks brilliant. He displays brilliant. And the transformation process was absolutely mind-blowing. And again, that's why I put it on a separate video as well for you guys to see. So he was in at number 9. And that'll do for them for now. So, number 8, and he is standing there. Pretty much the same reasons as what I said in my top 10 newer figures of the year. It's the arc, so it's fantastic. It is fantastic. We've always wanted an arc. I just think they're letting themselves down with some of the things I'll point out this time, like the guns, the fact they don't rotate. We know that it was hollow. The hands as well, having all the fingers fused on a Titan class figure, which is just a bit strange. They could have, you know, separated them, I'm sure, quite easily. But I like it. It's a good figure. It's ridiculously cheap at the moment. It's going to be half price if it carries on. Keeps dropping, and there's a few flaws to it, but it's still very good in its own right. And if you don't own a Titan figure, for the price it's at the moment, it's definitely worth having a nose at, 100%. Okay, moving down to number 7, and this might surprise some people, but a lot of my choices are biased. They are biased because I love G1. Now again, and do you know what? There was quite a few problems, wasn't there, with QC with the Kingdom toy line. And this guy, mine, is one of the ones that it doesn't fully tab in. You can see they just rotate backwards and forwards. But again, I've just admitted it really. Why he's quite, you know, why he's in my list and why he's maybe quite so high is because he's tracks, and I've got loads of fond memories from having original tracks as a child. And I don't think the robot mode's too bad, to be honest. Yes, it's bad that these don't clip in. Yes, it's bad that his feet are pretty much hovering. But yeah, I like him because he's tracks, and he displays, when you can get him to stand, really, really well in robot mode. So he came in for that reason, because we hadn't had a decent tracks in ages. We had the Reveal the Shield one, which is, what, nearly a decade ago. So it's nice to have a nice new tracks. So that's why he snuck in there. Well, I don't say snuck in, that's why he is there. Right, moving to number 6, and again, this guy was in my other countdown, and again, for the same reasons, he's nowhere near the top. He's a good figure. He's a very good figure. He's very detailed, and the weight in him, if you don't own him, again, I know he's nowhere near as big as Commander Class, and I know he perhaps shouldn't command a Commander Class price, but just the difference in the weight between these two, it's so comparable. And, you know, the detail on him, all the accessories, etc., etc. Again, I'm not agreeing with it or saying that should be the reason why it should be so expensive. But if you do get hold of one of these, and again, these have dropped down crazy prices. These are nearly half price at the moment as well. You'll see what I mean. You'll see by the craftsmanship. You'll see what I mean by the engineering, that he is a good figure. He's a good figure in his own right. I think the thing that annoyed a lot of people and a lot of fans was the price point. For me, the annoying thing was the trailer not shutting. Again, as I say, they seem to have quite a few QC errors with the Kingdom toy lineup, but great figure, great figure. I mean, if this was just released at a leader class without the trailer, I'm sure most people would have just snapped it up and there'd have been a completely different reaction to him. Again, especially because the trailer for most people ended up being faulty. But I think he's brilliant, and I need to perhaps give him a bit more time because he's so detailed and he's such a great figure. Right, that was Rodimus. So next for me is, I think this guy didn't make it into the last one, but again, it's Warpath. And exactly like I said in my other countdown, I love the fact that they've now got, rather than just giving what we now obviously know as the mini bots, Legends class figures, which there's nothing wrong with at all. It's just really, really good that they've been given a, well, it's borderline upscale, isn't it? They've been given a much better role, a much better, more robust, more detailed, and yeah, really very articulate figure. And this guy, again, I love Warpath. Great memories from me being a kid. Really, really love it. I think he's brilliant, and he was one of the first Kingdom figures that I knew that I definitely wanted straight away. I was like, I want this guy, I want him straight away, and yeah, not disappointed at all. Right, into the top 4 already then, and this one won't be a surprise because of the other countdown, but this is the original bot version, and all the same reasons of exactly what I've just said for Warpath. Again, I know there's a few problems when he's in his truck mode, but I'm never going to be displaying him in his truck mode. He's always going to be in this mode for me. And funnily enough, I was only watching the episode the other day where he saved, one of the very first ones where he's saving them in the water at the plant, the oil plant, and you know, that's him. To me, that's him, and that's the main reason why I think I love him so much. And again, same with Warpath. As soon as we'd seen, I'm pretty sure he was wave 2, that this was the figure I was the most excited about. And me personally, I wasn't disappointed, to be fair. I wasn't disappointed at all. I think he's brilliant. Right, into the top 3. Some of these are going to be quite guessable, is the proper word, because of the other countdown. But again, the reason why I'm doing this is because loads of people have said to me, can you do some ones of just the standard figures? And that's exactly what we've got here. So we've got 3 to go, and number 3 is what I was pretty much referring to earlier. This guy's brilliant. This guy is absolutely brilliant. And it was because of him, totally 100% because of him, that I brought the other core class. Again, I wasn't going to be collecting or trying not to get every single figure. I've not got all of the Kingdom figures. I've got quite a few missing. But yeah, I wasn't even comprehending getting the core class figures. And then I saw this guy and I was like, oh, right, this guy looks really good. And he is very, very, very good. I mean, they even obviously got the detail where you can pop his tape cover down on his chest, and there's a teeny little laser beak in there as well, which obviously doesn't transform. But this was again one of the main reasons why I brought all the other core class figures. So for him, he's easily in my top 3, and that might surprise a few people. Hopefully it does anyway, because I didn't want it to be anywhere near the same as what was with the other countdown. So number 2 is Cyclonus, and yeah, stunning figure. Blown away by him. Again, he just feels robust, he feels sturdy. I know he's got big holes in his legs there, but again, the weight of this guy compared to some of these, it's just great. And as I mentioned in the video, I'm going to do a separate transformation video on just this, because I've done the review but I didn't do the transformation process, and the transformation for him is just so, I mean, look at him. If you're looking for spinning him, if you haven't got this figure or if you've not really seen much of it, his nose, obviously, in alternate mode is about that long, and it's nowhere to be seen. And at the end of the day, these are Transformers, and that's exactly what they should be doing. So easily second. In fact, he could have come first because of that. The only reason why the guy who came first was because, again, I was so excited to get a decent version of him, and a decent version of him that actually looked like the cartoon, that was the guy's proper alternate mode. It wasn't a tank, it was a G1 Galvatron. There you go. It was a G1 Galvatron. So, you know, because of all the things that are happening with safety and all this sort of stuff, obviously he was never going to be a handgun like Megatron. But again, all of the other Galvatrons, they were their tanks or their whatever. This guy is a cannon, which he should be. And for me, and again, in person, this figure he's a beast. He's huge, he's chunky, he serves his purpose. And for me, it was just exactly them reasons there. It was just nice to get a really good Galvatron again that wasn't a tank, that wasn't something that he's not supposed to be. And I know we can't be having guns, and like the old Megatron was, you know, literally pretty much an exact replica of a real gun. But Galvatron unfortunately got tarnished, and again, I was really lucky with this guy. I didn't have any shoulder issues at all. So again, I'm sure a lot of people will massively disagree because they had problems with the shoulders, and I get that, and I do get that. But I did say, and I am honest all the way through my videos, that I do love my G1, and this guy is exactly that for me. He's a really, really good, really decent looking G1, and I think that's obviously what they were looking for. And I wouldn't be surprised at all, even though we've got 3 versions of this mold already, that we get another one, or it'll be exactly the same, and it will be in a Studio Series 86 box very soon, because it's just that good. And of course, they need to complete the lineup. So there you go, guys. As requested, that is the Kingdom top 10, just in my crazy opinion, and I'm sure everybody else could be completely different. Let me know what you think, and of course, please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.